Hi there. I thought I'd do a couple of videos up just to kind of show you what I've been doing around the house and to stay active during our COVID-19 restrictions here in Ontario. And hope you're practicing social distancing and staying safe. So I thought I'd pull out some of my gear from 2016, maybe get back into YouTube a little bit. And with that, I pulled out my old G5, which is a power PC, and I did a video earlier on the equipment and some of the features that are on it. I may get into doing a software tutorial, or I might go through just kind of the process of putting together an edited clip. But again, I'm still working away, just kind of, keeping myself sane. But I thought I'd show you some of the cameras that I've used. So I've got a very nice little Nikon. It's a great little camera. Back when I was doing car reviews and 360 tours for dealers in the Kitchener, Cambridge, and Guelph area, this is what would have been my go-to camera. Catches a nice exterior shot, really good for doing the walk around, but there's no audio input. So normally I would do the video content, I would record my conversation over my iPhone. Essentially I'd use it with a lapel mic, and it'd basically be like a remote setup. Then I would come back and I would put the audio clip and sync it in with the video attached with the camera. So there's a process to it, and it was time consuming. So not having an audio input on this camera is a little bit limiting as far as that's concerned, unless you enjoy doing the editing process. But it's a great camera, and it's something that I would recommend, and it is the Coolpix P530. So if you're out shopping for a camera and you're not too concerned about the audio aspect of it, and you're on a budget, this is definitely a decent camera for that. Now, the other camera that I really enjoyed was the Kodak, and this is a Play Touch, and this is the ZI-10. This replaced, I had a ZI-8 and a ZI-6, so I've gone through the whole series. These are great cameras. They've got a audio input on the top, so pretty straightforward. You can put a mic on. This is the camera that I would use when I was doing interiors of cars. So I'd put a little lapel mic on, travel around with this. I'd use a little suction cup attachment on the upper edge of the windshield. Worked great. Kind of think of it as a cheap GoPro, essentially, back in the day. I still use these. I have 3 of them, so I keep them covered in plastic, because I do find that they have a tendency of getting dirty, and the little switches and the little buttons tend to get affected by that. So again, if you keep it nice and clean, they'll last a long time. I can do a 128 SD card in it as well, so again, lots of storage. The battery life is really decent on these too, so again, if you're looking for a nice basic camera that does HD and you're going to do it in your apartment or in a little studio, these work out really well. Be aware though that there is some lighting sensitivity to it, so they're not the best for that, but they're not bad as long as you plan ahead. Now, the other one that I like to use was a Sony Cybershot. So this little guy here does a 360 point of view, so it's very good for getting a nice wide shot if you want, something that I would normally put on a web page. That's why I picked this camera up. It does really good stills. Video is not bad, but it's not really what this was intended for. And again, it doesn't have a audio input. Now, I've got a second one, and they've become very affordable as of late. So this little guy here came with an extra battery, which is why I picked it up for that one. But also came with all the cables and books and all the gear. And I got it off Kijiji, which I'd suggest, and also came with the manuals. This one here I'm going to play around with, so I'm going to pull the case off, and I'm going to see if I can modify it by adding in an external audio jack. And if that's the case, it'll be a nice little camera to use indoors, or set it up where I can have it on a tripod and use it for kind of that real quick little capture as far as around the desk is concerned. Now, when it came to audio, normally I would just come back and I would do a little bit of voiceover. That'd be essentially it. I had a lapel mic as well, and then I would put that to the camera. So pretty straightforward, nothing very fancy. Now, for kind of doing the in-house shots, I have set up a nice little set of lights. So again, very affordable. There's a desk lamp converted. I've put a nylon on top of it, essentially to break the light up a little bit so it's not a hard white light. And I've got a monitor set up, so I normally hook that up to the ZI-10 so I can actually see what I'm shooting if I'm going to shoot something here, and that works out quite well. So, you know, hopefully down the road I'll come up with something to do, and I haven't really come up with a topic or content yet, but again, still rolling around, so hopefully something will kind of catch on fire there. Hope you enjoy the videos that I'm putting together and just kind of going through some of the basics, you know, just essentially staying active. Hope you have a pleasant and enjoyable day. We'll talk to you later.